Hello. Today I'm going to use the notion atmosphere for the experience of a self. Before we look at the signs, we can begin with the elements, relating them to the axis. For example, if my ascendant is in the element earth, then the descendant is in water. If my IC is in fire, then the MC in air. The three signs of each element are akin. So if we take for example Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, there is always a kind of agitation in it. The distribution of the quadrants is complementary, which means the first and the third are complementary, and the same the second and the fourth. So the transformation of energies means the integration of the opposing element to anyone below the horizon. If my will or assemblage point is in the third quadrant, which is the divided self, then there is the atmosphere of the element, and more specifically of the sign of my descendant. The same with the other axis. My reactional self can be transformed to the true self from the second to the fourth quadrant, in which case the atmosphere of my experience changes. So let's have again two examples. The two main steps are the self-remembering, which goes from the material self in Pisces to the divided self in Virgo, and the deeper step of surrender from the reactional self in Gemini to the true self in Sagittarius. In the first main step, there is a change from the atmosphere of unsoundness on the automatic level of Pisces to elaborateness and endurance on the conscious level of Virgo. So, remembering himself, he is very precise and conscientious. In the feeling center, the atmosphere changes from Taurus, where there is a kind of inertia and attachment to material possessions, to Scorpio with idealism and intensity. The formatory apparatus with superficial curiosity is transformed to enthusiasm and synthetic thinking. This is the line from Gemini to Sagittarius. In the second major step, there is also a movement along the Gemini-Sagittarius axis, but this time from the sensitive to creative energy. That's why I call the Gemini atmosphere here interest accompanied with doubts. Go into trust and wisdom of the Sagittarius on this high level. The three centers of man converge more and more, looking from the material self up to the true self, where they become actually one. Here we can speak of three aspects of the higher emotional center. The feeling center of the reactional self in the atmosphere of sentimentality in Cancer changes to serenity, clarity and innocence of Capricorn. His sensitive thinking in Leo, in the atmosphere of self-confidence, transforms to visionary intuition of Aquarius. Of course, these are just hints. I'll make some suggestions to this chart in a different manner, namely what happens with the third and fourth quadrant if we don't become conscious or creative. If I'm fixated in the material self and encounter others on the point of descendant, I perceive them to be unreliable, because they manifest my automatic Pisces energy. So I'm disturbed, because they are not functioning as my Virgo ascendant energy wants them to do. In my feeling center in Libra, I perceive myself as peaceful, but encounter others being crude. They show my own Aries energy manifesting on automatic level. In my formatory thinking in Scorpio, I'm suspicious and compulsive, but in my own image, I'm rather profound. Meeting with others, I make them Taurus-like, which means here dumb, naive, gullible. In the reactional self in Sagittarius, I believe to be superb, uppermost, a deep thinker, but in reality I'm just prejudiced. Encountering others in Gemini, I take them for being superficial and happy-go-lucky. In my emotional center in Capricorn, I'm not so happy with myself, feeling constricted, but I still devalue the others, showing in the Cancer too much sloppiness and mawkishness. I'm proud of my Aquarius thinking center, taking myself to be original and a free spirit, devaluing the self-confident show-offs who have the intelligence of a sheep. In this way, I don't recognize the need to change myself, because I think there is everything all right with me. If there are problems, that's because of others, or coming from my fate, which is the alternative display of my quadrants above the horizon. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.